Hi, I'm Pat Hughes. I'm a board member of Voices for Children, an organization that I have grown to love over the last years. I invite you now to go on a journey to learn more about Voices for Children, and it may be something that changes your life, just like it did mine.
Kids are in the dependency system because they're taken away from their parents for either abuse, neglect, or abandonment, or sometimes all three.
I came into the system when I was 6 years old with my two younger sisters. And because my mom, we were pretty much being neglected by her. And this happened several months after my father was murdered. And I lived in over 12 different placements consisting of foster homes, group homes. I did it. I was in there. High school, I went to over 20 schools.
I think the one misconception people have of kids in the system is that there's something bad about them or they've done something wrong. This is such a misnomer because their parents probably did something wrong or their parents caused this to happen. These children did nothing wrong.
We had one little boy, and he was actually brought in. They found him living in a canyon in a makeshift tent with his father and the father's girlfriend. And they had been giving him cocaine so he wouldn't have hunger pains. And when we brought him into the system, our agency didn't bring him in, but when he was brought into the system, they asked him, well, what are 3 of your dreams? What would you like to have? What would you wish for? And he said he wished for cereal.
I've just never seen an organization like Voices for Children where one by one and one-on-one, we are with that child.
We are a private agency. We are a nonprofit agency. So I want people to know that first and foremost. But more importantly, I want people to know that we are an agency. We are people who provide hope to children.
When you're working within the system, for instance in a group home, you're trying to teach kids to cope with the fact that their lives are so horrible instead of trying to change their lives. And when you come to a place like this and you're working with CASAs are helping them cope, but they're also changing their situation for them.
We work with somewhere between 700 or 800 kids providing direct services every year with our volunteers.
We need the volunteers, number one, to be able to take those kids off the waiting list. And I think the waiting list exists because we have been so successful.
I've been to court a number of times now, and the judges have asked me my opinion, and it really made me feel good because I felt I do know that child better than the social worker and better than his lawyer does and better than the other people in the case because I've been there longer than anybody. I've been there more consistently as far as I see that child every week. I see him when he's up, when he's down, when things are going well, when things aren't going well.
You know, I think it differs by case on how much you're a mentor, a big brother, and how much you're more on the legal side or an advocate. But I think for me it's a good mix. I mean, I guess I'm like a big brother with a court order.
The qualities for a good CASA will be to be patient, to be there, to not give up.
I think for people that care about children, you look at the children that are in the foster care system and you know that they're not getting anything they need. They're not getting the attention they should get. They're not getting the love they should get. They're not getting, forget the material things. They don't really need those. They need somebody there that can teach them to trust and teach them to love. And to me, it's like I have a chance to make a little bit of difference in some of these children's lives.
She showed me all the things that she hoped for me and the things that she wished that I would accomplish, and she did it. And that's what really helped me to gain her trust, is because what she said is what she did. Other people in the system would come and be like, okay, I'm going to do this, and they'd leave a few months later. Oh, well, I can't handle this job, or, they don't pay me enough, or it's always something.
As a CASA, we're in there for the long haul, okay, and we take the ups, we take the downs, and that's just life. All we're really doing is supporting these kids through life.
So I got to go and see this child in this play, and I just have to tell you that it was just absolutely incredible. He was like a different kid, because when he was up on stage he had this light that was shining from inside of him. And afterwards, it was just amazing to get to see him, to congratulate him, and to see what a difference it had made in his life to be good at something. And it wasn't that she changed his life and found him an adoptive home and he lived happily ever after. She just found this one thing for him that made such a difference. And whenever I'm having a hard time at work, being faced with so much tragedy, I think of him up on that stage, and it really keeps me going. He really was a star.
One morning when I was out walking, I saw this young man going off to work in his suit and tie and carrying his briefcase and going down the path to his car, and he turned around and his little boy was standing in the doorway, and the father waved to him, "Goodbye, son, I love you." And the little boy was about 4 or 5. And so I was waiting for the little boy to give what you would think would be the natural response, "I love you too, Dad." But that's not what he said. He said, "I know. I know. I know I'm loved." And that's what I would hope for every child.
It seems so doable to help and assist these 8,000 children because it only costs $1,000 a year to support each and every one of these. So when you think of it, that's not even a large corporation